Yes, yes, yes. We are live. Finally, the show has continued, has started season 2. You threw me off with that one. It is season 2, episode 1, House of the Dragon. We're going to talk about a lot of hot D. You know what I mean? A lot of hot D.
When did you think of that? Were you in the shower? You're like, oh shit, hot D.
It was about actually 3 hours ago. I was like, oh dude, that would be funny. So yeah, we're going to have hot D all up in our faces. All right, let's do this. I am Scott. This is Sporky News Podcast. And this is a Spork of Ice and Fire. And tonight we got a full panel of guests and friends and people. Still space is available. But with us tonight, not always on the show, but always on the channel, the Brotorious Machismo himself, Mad Mardigan. How are you, man?
Oi. How's it going? Oi.
So, good to see you, buddy. Glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. I was here because I was told Gary was going to be here.
No, I never said that. I never said that.
I set it up for you in Dallas. All you had to do was close, brother.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. You know, he was supposed to come last week, but there was a movie premiere. You know, you're a big time. I get it. And then, you didn't return any of my messages. Anyway, so let's go on. We have the glorious Prince Grantorian, first of his name, King of the Andals, the Ronar, and the First Men. Stig might have something to say.
But that's all right.
Oh, Grantarian, sorry.
Yeah, common folk usually get it wrong, so.
Good to see you, buddy. We also have, who's usually working, we have Mason from Free Folk of the Fandom. I almost froze there. Probably here because you thought someone was going to be on. But I'm sorry, buddy. How are you?
Hey, everyone. How y'all doing? I'm good.
Are you good? Are you working tonight, or are you just on break?
No, I'm at home.
Good.
I cracked a tooth. So
Oh,
I had to go to
jeez.
a dentist this morning.
Oh, wow.
What was it?
They said
That
it's
hot
gonna have
D?
to be a root canal.
It was the hot D all up in your
my first
face, huh?
one.
Yeah. Well, you know what, buddy? We all have to get it sometimes. That hot D in your face. We also have Miss Martin Muses on. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. I've got a dog.
But
not
that's
not
awesome.
mine. I'm
Oh.
at my sister's house.
Oh, your
No,
dog.
she stole it.
Oh no, I wasn't going to betray my cat with a new dog. But
I wasn't going to say it, but I was a little worried.
No. So that's who's in my lap right now. I've got a little lap dog. So sitting here watching and ranting
Hopefully-
and raving. I can't wait to talk about it all.
Hopefully we hear him. Oh, good question,
Wait,
Stig.
Wait, what'd
I
you
think
say?
she missed it.
I asked if it was a Clegane.
Get it? Hound?
Oh,
yeah.
no, he's a little Chihuahua Pomeranian mix.
Wow.
Wow.
That is
is
that's
I don't think any of the Cleglanes would fit in your lap.
yeah. And
Chihuahuas
that,
are
They're
shit
pretty
dogs, though.
yeah. Well, I mean, that sounds more like a cat, though. But anyways, thank you for being here. And we have the king himself. He is the true king of the Andals, the Ronar, and the First Man, Stig Kenobi.
Allegedly.
Yes, but I don't boast about it.
Yeah. I do that for you. He's the king of the North.
It's not in my Twitter profile or anything.
Oh,
Humble
man. No, I got to look for it.
I live
we
among the commoners.
Just the commoners like us.
Yeah, I
Well,
live among you.
I respect
learn.
that. And
Yeah,
watch
it's like
us.
in Life of Brian. You see, he's so humble, he won't even say he's the Messiah. That only confirms he's the Messiah.
What a great movie. What a great movie. And last but not least, Tina Bad Takes Bojan. It's good to have you back on the show.
I'm glad to be back in the YouTube world and hanging with you, talking about one of my favorite shows that's out there. So
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me. Let's see
We're
who
not
is
talking
here.
about Loki.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
we're not
yeah,
talking. Yeah, that's a definite. We got Joe Dog in the house. What's up? We got, what a great name, Westerosi Whispers. What up with you? No, what up with you? Lil Chad, who is a friend of the channel, has a great live show on Friday night that I couldn't make because I was so tired. But Lil Chad is awesome, so please check out his channel.
He's okay.
Oh, he's good. He says, Matt and Sporking on the same stream, but not talking the OC. Someday that will come back when I have even a minute of time. When my kids graduate college in so many years, it's on, bro. It's on.
It'll be rebooted by then.
Anniversary.
Well, my
Yeah.
son's 2.5. He'll be 3 in October, so we got
Only
time.
about
We got time.
22 years from now. Oh, guess who's joining?
Yeah,
Oh.
we got Christy in the house.
Heard
What?
She was a big fan. I saw on
I
Twitter.
knew she was coming on. I knew.
Yeah.
Fuck this show.
Wait, hold your
We're not
fucks.
even up to that bit yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I
Brian, you did
smelled the
not miss
swamp
it.
ass before she came in.
Shut
Oh,
up,
no.
Strata's older brother.
Ooh.
Zax, what's up, man? We have Brian in the house. We didn't have the show on Saturday. The lovely Sherry made it. Hopefully, someone let me know when Katina Martin gets here because she is not getting any notifications. What anime is HOD? It's Hot D, HOTD, bro. Come on.
Yeah. High School of the Dead.
Let's dive into it. Okay. This show definitely took some turns and changed things from the book. And I try to remember it is not canon, but man, they made some big decisions. And what bothered me the most is at the end when
Murder
you
and
watch
cheese.
like inside. Well, that was not done well enough, even though part of it was okay. But the end, when they did the inside the interview, the guy was like, yeah, this is the truth. That's what, George did the third unreliable narrator thing, but this is the truth. No, this is not the truth. Okay. I hate Kristen Cole, but he ain't giving the D to the queen, or actually going down on the queen. He's that much of a Sally, but,
His autobiography's coming out. It's called A Feast of Queens.
Oh.
Oh,
but let's hear
Dude,
in
right,
general.
right after he gets done with Allison in
Yeah.
the bedroom, he walks right past Otto.
And like,
could just like would there
Did you
be
not brush your
smell?
teeth?
and the worst part, he's going,
Yeah.
come on, it's
Oh.
medieval
Wipe
times.
his
There's
face, man.
big bush. But
And
what
now
did you
he's
guys,
smelling
He's
that on-
between his teeth.
Imagine trying to go back to your job, smelling it on your upper lip the
Oh,
whole
God.
day.
the whole day. And oh man,
No,
Would
I
you
mean,
go
the
into your buddies and be like, "Hey, bro, smell my lip.
yeah, take a whiff of
Hey,
my
bro,
lip.
smell my lip. Guess
So
where I
is,
was."
is Kristen giving or receiving the fleas in his mustache now?
I don't know. It's terrifying though. For some reason it says 116 people watching. I don't know if that's true, but thank you for being here.
Feels good.
Well, smash
yeah.
the like button if you're there.
Yeah,
That's the easiest way
yeah.
to-
Smash the like button. Send your mom and grandmother over. They'll enjoy what we're talking about. He's
Last
always
one on
got
that.
stuff in his teeth.
Last one on that. Hopefully she scrubs down there as much as she scrubbed her shoulder.
Rubs your
in
shoulder,
this
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. You want to make sure.
She just kept scrubbing and scrub.
Yeah, that was
so.
that was pumice. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't know what she was
This
eating.
episode was a little disturbing. I mean, there was that squelching noise in the bedroom scene. Like, how
Mhm.
could Kristen Cole do that?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
But let's start from the beginning. We
Orphan it like a
got a
big
new
gulp.
intro. You got a new intro. Okay. So last year they
Would you
had
like to see the tapestries?
yes, please.
Oh, yeah. I got
And,
the
and
joke.
they
Season
are
one.
phenomenal. I don't care what anybody says. The opening kicks ass of all Martin.
Fuck, I
shows.
thought that
Wait a
was
minute,
Christian.
you think that's-
Whoa, hold
I
on.
freaked out.
You think that's better than the original series opening? What?
Oh.
Oh,
I-
Tina. Oh, you
All right,
are bad
Find
takes.
yourself.
Bad takes. Hold on. Bad takes. Why is it
better?
great? Come on, Tina.
Why is it great? Oh, come on. It was perfectly captured medieval tapestry. It showed you from the Valerians making their first dragon to the blood sacrifices to Danny's the Dreamer, Doom of
Mhm.
Valyria, Aegon and Dragonback with his sister wives, Valyrian ships in the ground. I mean, come on. They had the Aarons, the Tarks, and the Starks, and the Tullys bending
Yeah.
the knee to Aegon.
They did have Magor.
I mean,
They did have Magor.
Yep.
Did
They
they,
did. They had-
speed
had
up
Magor.
the
Okay.
score? Did they speed up the score for this intro?
It was
felt a little
changed.
quick.
Yeah.
It felt a little
Yeah.
quick.
it felt shorter. It did feel shorter, yeah.
So, as someone that doesn't have the I didn't watch Game of Thrones as it was coming out, so I don't
Mhm.
have like this loving nostalgia for the theme song.
Right.
Like I watched it all in like
You
2
binged it.
months.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right before it went bad. I
Perfect.
it feels tainted from like season 8, season 7, season 8. Like it feels like the original theme with all the maps and stuff. Like that's just kind
Mhm.
of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I've liked all three of them so far.
Mad.
Well, I was just gonna say, Raimi Hadahaduhuda, the
Yep.
composer, one of my favorite working
Nailed
right now
it.
in Hollywood. The work he did on Westworld. The
Oh, yeah.
only good thing that came out of Westworld was his music. You know, his cover of Wicked Games by
Mhm.
The Weeknd. Beautiful. One of my favorite all time.
Wicked Games, like the
N-
one,
not the Chris Isaac.
not the
The Chris
oh,
Isaac
okay.
The
one.
Weeknd.
Yeah.
No, it's
The
The
Weeknd.
Weeknd. The
The
Weeknd.
Weeknd.
Yeah.
He's pretty dope. I know him. No big whoop.
Westworld season 1 was pretty good, but
Yes,
yeah.
season 1 was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to give a shout out to Tina. I'm gonna be defending you here. I did
Okay.
like the way that it really looked like the Bayeux Tapestry. That's just what really struck me. Even the style and everything. It frankly was like they took the Bayeux Tapestry and shoved in the Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire people. So I thought that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that throwback thing, and I'm sure they're selling it probably right now.
Probably.
So-
Did they
Yeah.
play? Did they have a different theme or a different score in the first season in the opener?
I want to say it was different. I didn't rewatch
thought
it recently, but
I don't know if it was shorter or it was sped up, but there was something that was. There was
That's
something
what
that
I
was
felt
different.
like. It was sped up
Yeah.
on this
Well,
one. No,
because-
I meant a whole entirely different score because the girlfriend was like,
I-
I thought they had a different. I thought
I
they had
did
their own
too. But I
score.
think we're wrong. Like
I
the
skipped the intro.
the
I don't
Stark
care.
intro was
It's the-
different.
The intro.
Or
I'm
the
surprised
Spork
you didn't
theme
go
was
straight to the
different.
credits. To be honest,
I like. I had to listen to this like me and in the chat in our group chat. I had to listen to this as me and my mom were driving back from Oklahoma, and we get to the scene and I'm driving and she has it on her phone, and we get to the scene for the we were talking about earlier, and she's like, "Oh my." And he's had 2 see you next Tuesdays queens now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah,
What-
and that's so
here's-
crazy.
one thing I
I'm
don't
not-
get.
he's just had 2 queens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one thing I
They're
don't
all-
get.
Young ladies.
They have gotten older, but he has not.
That is true.
There is
Oh,
He
no
probably-
actually looks like he
probably
aged
diet.
backwards.
Allison looks like she's 20 years older than last season, though.
Yeah, but he does look younger. It's like
he
he's a
looks
vampire.
younger.
Yeah.
He doesn't look old at all.
No.
He's a vampire.
It's
Well,
just
what
them
bothers me
Dornish
about-
genetics, man.
Yeah, he sucks blood out of. Anyway.
We can
Oh,
never
yeah.
go.
I was gonna say that is like the nectar of youth.
We can never go chronological. So I'm going to jump in with Kristen Cole. What bothered me about their direction with him is that it just totally kills any historical view of him in Fire and Blood. Like, yes, it was implied there might have been things with Rhaenyra that he and her did something, but it was never proven. But then he left her side and was an honorable man on the green side, even though I couldn't stand him even over there. But he's the kingmaker. He's the one that was trying to be the honorable Kingsguard, even though he had his faults. Now it's just, dude, he just follows whoever puts it out. Like he's P-whipped.
Yeah,
He
that's
whipped.
Oh,
kinda,
he's so
kinda
cut.
how I feel.
Yeah,
Worst King Guard ever. He wasn't even at his station because of it. And I said
Yes.
that last week. Remember, I told
Yes,
y'all
you
it was
did.
going to happen.
Or was he?
I was right.
No,
He was in the
position.
station.
He was
Teresa,
not
we
in
called
the
this. Me
station.
and you called this last year.
Yeah.
We knew.
Yeah.
We knew it.
Yeah. So
They were gonna make it
Like-
that's his Mason. That's his his whole arc this season is to repay that mistake he made. What do you think, Mason?
I mean, so they could have made this work with like a sort of love story between Alicent and Kristen Cole, where he's just trying to do his duty, but he sees Alicent
Fighting
in this vulnerable state because her husband just died.
her husband
it's-
died 2 days earlier.
It literally is a
So-
couple days later, right?
It's only a
Yeah.
few days after he
So,
died. So
like
that-
this
no.
kind of implies that this has been going on a while.
Mhm.
So so Kristen Cole is committing one of the deadliest treasons
Yeah,
Again,
known to man.
Again,
yeah,
and,
and
like,
I mean,
this completely like overshadows his whole point in season 1. Like he
Right.
he basically gets
Yeah.
SA'd by Rhaenyra because she's like
Drunk.
she's the next queen or the next
Right.
ruler.
Well,
he's like,
and
"Well,
no,
if I don't
no,
do
I'm
this-"
gonna come back. No, I'm gonna do 180 on that shit. I don't give a shit if she's a princess or not. She
had
when
a
she was
position of
in
power,
the
position of power, position
she
of
when
power.
she when she was in that what was it, that whorehouse and stuff like that, she had been drinking and stuff like that. So it's a two-way street.
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
what Mason's trying to say, but that's a two-way street type thing.
Yeah,
And he
the
could have
thing is-
easily stepped away.
But if he did, could she say he tried something and he gets beheaded the
Yeah,
next
rape
day?
her.
I mean,
Yep.
that's
Absolutely,
the worst
absolutely.
part.
Now that I do concede. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
agree with that.
and he's a wuss.
Would have
so
been
we all know
would
that.
have been a better story for him.
Yeah. What do you guys think out in the chat? Please, if you're not commenting, jump in the chat. We got a great chat.
Yeah,
We got like
Can we get a
92 or
poll?
3
Like,
people
was
watching
Kristen
on
Cole
YouTube.
essayed? Yes, no.
Yeah, it was he essayed. So let's
Well, the
let's
other
move it.
I'd say the
No,
other
go ahead.
ridiculous thing about this as well, since they aged Alicent down, she's now also at risk of having a pregnancy.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Totally explainable. It
What
was
up,
one
Mike?
of those
It's
It's the
delayed
miracle of the
pregnancies.
7, guys.
It's the miracle.
Oh.
It's another strong boy.
Who is also dark haired
Oh,
and Dornish looking.
did somebody pull the thread and she got pregnant?
Yeah, something like that. Now I have to say I did like the opening, hearing like that northern accent. So Cregan
yeah.
Stark
Could they get someone
opens
sounded a little bit more like Sean Bean next time?
I felt like
think he's being
it was.
facetious.
I know. I felt like it was a middle thing of Sean Bean and Rob Stark. I felt like he
I
was
liked
somewhere in,
I liked the voiceover until I saw the guy.
yeah.
Well, it was confusing visuals as well because they talk about 1 in 10 Starks having to go there, which I've never heard before.
That's
But
that,
it makes
that's
it
not
look makes it look like Cregan was sent to the wall.
right.
But
Instead,
That's
was-
exactly that's what I thought it was.
Well,
That's what I thought
he-
that was in the beginning.
And he did
Because-
say in
was-
the beginning of the conversation that the Starks line of succession could be interrupted by the stones. So if he could have been Cregan Stark, could have pulled a stone the year before and not been head of the household.
oh, that's right.
That's
But
what
is that what they're
Yeah.
saying? Are they saying that?
Let me hear from
See?
Stig. Let me hear from Stig. Go ahead, buddy.
They fucked up something else too with the they kept saying that the dragons couldn't cross the wall. In Game of Thrones they crossed it just fine,
Mm-hmm.
like
So-
several times in a day.
I didn't even
Yep.
think about that.
Timeline? Question
Yeah,
mark?
so where's the continuity?
Well,
Well, also, they
No.
said Jaehaerys was there.
yeah, Jaehaerys was there.
Jaehaerys never went.
Nope.
Jaehaerys
Nope.
never went to the wall.
No, it was a
I mean, he-
Laotian.
I did like where he was like, "Do you think my ancestors built a 700-foot wall for no, just to keep out wildlings?"
I agree with that, but it didn't connect. It didn't connect with me because Teresa had a stream earlier, and we were talking about Jaehaerys in the books. It didn't even connect that. Oh wait! In the show, they went past the wall.
Yeah, no, not. Yeah, in the show, she flew and saved them from the White Walkers and flew right back.
Well,
No.
from
I mean,
Dragonstones to where they were, she actually doesn't pass over the wall. She goes next to it. There's literally a line. I've seen a video of it where they doesn't
Are
actually
you-
pass the wall.
Yeah,
You know what's
okay.
kind of
Goes
fun
over the sea.
Go ahead, Stig.
in the original show, right? Cold Hands, which is for some reason Benjen on the show, says that there's something in the foundation that keeps the undead from walking across the from crossing the wall. And then they tear down the wall, and the dragon and all the undead walk over the foundation. You literally told us a few episodes earlier that it's the foundation that's the problem, not exactly the wall. That's what
So
the magic is.
Well,
So it's
before we
like,
go further, did you
what?
like the episode, Stig?
7 out of 10.
Okay.
But like I've said, it's changes have ripple effects, and that's how we got the shit seasons of Game of Thrones, right? Because they altered things beforehand, and that's where the ripple effects ended.
Right.
With season 5 to 8 being a plot hole ridden like hell. And it looks like this is going to happen here too, because the more they change, the more ripple effects you're going to have.
Right.
And the more you change, the less of the source material you can use. Because
Can I make a comment that I said on Teresa's stream earlier?
Yeah, please.
You know, we had the big thing that happened in 2020, and Game of Thrones ended in 2019.
Right.
And when everything happened, people were binge watching Twitch, like what is it?
Sporking News podcast,
like YouTube, Netflix, and stuff like that. And you had like something like Suits that ended in 2017, 2 years before Game of Thrones ended. And they have been consistently on Netflix and other platforms, been the top tier that entire year. Did you hear anything about people binging Game of Thrones in 2020?
No. I tried.
No, it was bad. I mean, people look, they were,
and I say that right now because with this show, if they're not careful, that's how it's going to happen with this show.
And that's what I'm worried about, because I really enjoyed season 1 for what it was. This channel started because of the book series and the lore of the series, the books, but I'm able to disconnect from the series. I don't care what the showrunners say or whoever. This is just canon for TV. And I really enjoyed season 1, but the problem with season 1 is where they had to suck everybody in because of the faults of season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones, where yes, we fell in love with King Viserys and Patty's acting. We liked and got to know some of the characters, but other characters that were massively affected in this episode, there was no growth or character development where you actually feel a sense of sadness for them, pain, loss, anything. It's just like you didn't get that connection to him when the blood and cheese incident happens. You know, she wasn't in the first season enough for us to even know who she really was.
If I can push back, not about the
women.
Yeah,
please.
I
would like
emotional connection to any of them. Yeah. Gross. Anyway, but the son, I don't know his name. That found out that went to the wall, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal job acting in this episode.
Yeah. When he comes back to his mom?
Yeah. And tries to stay like strong and that stoicism, but it just starts to fade away.
Maybe he's not as strong boy as they thought.
Heartbreaking.
It was. It gets
thought he did the best
let's be clear about one
just
thing.
With that little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he was flying his dragon pool, but my God, he has glorious hair.
He really
all of a sudden.
He's not wearing that turnip looking thing anymore, whatever he was in season 1.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm with Mads because Mads is exactly right. I thought that he was incredibly strong. He was one of the highlights of it. Actually, they seem to be getting some of the men correct without Kristen Cole. But yeah, I thought that his acting, but thought it was very good in the opening scene. And with Kragan, it kind of got you a little bit interested in there. In the scene with him and his mother, I was actually genuinely moved.
Yeah, it was the only part that I was 100% invested in the character rather than the story, if that makes sense.
That absolutely does.
Yeah.
There was a lot of face acting as well with it all. Like, also, because Rhaenyra only literally has one line in the entire episode.
One line.
Yeah. Or
one
whole
line.
words.
Yeah. She and her acting in this episode is fantastic. Like, she is a really good actor. But I want to go back to the wall for a second because we find out this stone thing where it's an honor to send 10 of the different houses, like actual lordship families. That doesn't happen in the books. It's not Queen Alysanne and Jaehaerys. It's just Queen Alysanne, and her dragon does not want to cross the wall too. But the third one that got me is, so Cregan Stark definitely implies he knows about the White Walkers. So this is only 170 some odd years later that Ned Stark has no clue about the White Walkers.
I have a theory about that.
The myth of them.
Who raised Ned?
Well, I mean,
John
it was
Aaron.
John Aaron, but this is something that would have been taught to them that this is not just an old Nan story. This is real.
Maybe it died with.
He's probably
Hold on,
not the heir though.
No,
That's what I was
don't-
gonna say.
Would have known.
That's a Targaryen thing. That's
Not
the heir.
necessarily.
No, because there has to be a.
No,
Go ahead,
you'd groom Brandon to be the heir and make sure he knows exactly how to rule. Ned is kind of
No,
just
not
like,
about ruling. I'm saying the knowledge of the White Walkers being a real threat. I mean, he implies that
be
is
him
real.
knowing. Yeah, you would tell Brandon Stark, "Hey, you are going to be here. There is a giant threat out there." Ned, we can just foster you somewhere else.
Yeah, but that's
no,
okay.
like
a
big threat, but
Stig,
but
go
we're
ahead.
only going to tell one person.
Right. It's not a Targaryen promise thing with just the king and the heirs of the king. Like, Stig, would you agree that if you're from the north and this is a real threat from 10,000 years ago and you know of it and everyone up there seems to be prepared for that, how does Ned in the present not know?
Yeah, and how does the wildlings not know until just recently before Game of Thrones starts? I mean,
Well,
they would have seen them
later.
Yeah, it's
no, you're right.
No, it's established in Game of Thrones that the White Walkers were hibernating under the ice up until recently, which is why the wildlings are fleeing, because all of a sudden there's White Walkers around.
Yeah,
and one of Ned's first lines in Game of Thrones is the White Walkers have not been seen for thousands of years.
Yeah,
and you can't just go except for 100 years ago.
Right. But it's not even that. It's like, how do you lose the idea of the threat? Like, I mean, if it's literally 10,000 years prior is the long night. And then only a less than 200 years before Ned, they are still like, this is my main concern. You can have all the old graybeards, but you cannot have my warriors because death is out there. Like, they are ready for a war. And then less than 200 years later, Ned's like, they were around. But
I mean, you have to admit, maybe they just didn't believe as much. As
they
time
did for
went
like
on,
9,000, but 9,800 years they did. But that's the problem with it.
But
you can
change in a generation. You can change beliefs in a generation quite easily.
That's true.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
But at the same time, I mean, it's a little nod to the whole North and White Walkers and all that BS. I don't care about that. This is a dragon show. And I want to go back because what Scott started talking about with Helena, and you get to the scene where Aegon wants to bring Jaehaerys to the council,
small council,
the small council. And I'll say this, but she says something about rats, and you have Helena as this Cassandra type, to where she knows things, she doesn't know how to communicate it. In season 1, and at the end of this episode, I'm just like, huh?
Wait, are you talking about the Fatata?
Yeah.
No. She's talking like at the very beginning. She makes a comment about the rats.
About the rats.
Yeah.
And everybody looks at her like she's
Helena
nuts.
is supposed to be like Dany's. She's supposed to be a dreamer. She's supposed to have premonition. Or
more like she seems more like an old school autistic person to me. You know what I mean?
In a way, yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm not gonna just disagree with that.
Yeah.
But you kind of build that up in season 1. And in this episode, to me, it kind of falls flat.
Right. And we don't
I think that nobody pays attention to her. That doesn't mean
they
she's
don't.
Not a dreamer. Nobody gives her any mind.
What Christy's saying is the actual story. They didn't build her character up enough where people could feel like, oh my God, she's trying to warn us of something. Like, she did it a couple times in season 1. And I understand no one in world believed her and just thinks she's talking crazy, but like, there was no connection with Helena where like that girl did a good job acting the way the character is supposed to be. But like, it didn't feel, well, first of all, they took out a major part of the blood and cheese moment. Okay.
I mean, going forth, there's now a succession worry because there is no longer an heir.
Where's the other male? Where's the other male heir?
Can we just say how Aegon says
Mailer doesn't exist?
I don't get that.
Can we just say inside the episode, the actor who plays Aegon says, "Oh well, yeah, Aegon really loves his kids and stuff like that," and I'm like, "Huh? What? He loves his kids? What?"
Well, in this version, not in the
I
book.
think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to say that's where he's saying where his character's coming from.
He's
and
definitely
according
different.
to the showrunners, Maelor doesn't exist because they compressed 30 years into a 20-year span. So they just kind of went, "Oops."
But that screws up the whole story.
That screws up a third of this damn story.
He
and
has
how
no
it's gonna
heir.
play out.
He has no heir. So now what does he make his daughter the heir? Now all of a sudden Rhaenyra has a better claim.
No, it's going to be Aegon. I'm sorry, Aemond rather. Aemond, because they are going by male primogenitor.
Yeah.
In season 1, they do have the blood thing split off where Maelor should be.
I was going to say in the original intro they do, yeah.
Yeah,
that's not Maelor, that's Maegor.
Yeah, you dummy.
Yeah,
I have a
The
question
official,
for the panel.
family tree that they put out did not have him, but it did have Darren.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Darren. Yeah. Go ahead, Stig.
Again, there's still a succession crisis.
Big time.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys think that the showrunners for this one is that they're starting to sound suspiciously like the previous showrunners in the later seasons?
I'm sure it had nothing to do with them getting a Star Wars deal.
Well, like Zach said, Scotty, they kind of forgot about the White Walkers. It fits. Kind of like, Danny, she forgot about the Iron Fleet.
The fleet,
you know, like
it's like poetry. It rhymes.
They're making major mistakes because that moment in Blood and Cheese, where first of all Helena chooses Maelor, and then they kill is it Jaharis? The heir. And then tells Maegor, look, your mommy doesn't love you. She doesn't want you to be alive.
Look, your mommy doesn't want you to be alive.
Mama wants you dead.
Yeah,
that's her whole character. She can't look at a kid afterwards. She's racked with guilt. She can't hold him. She can't do anything. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, I thought it was a bit weird. It was like you have to choose, and she's like, okay, that one. I'm like,
and she chooses the heir. And she chooses the heir.
Well, yeah, it's Father's Day. You've got to kill a male on Father's Day in Game of Thrones. You know the rules.
I feel like they're softening everyone's
hold on, Mason.
agency. Sorry, everyone's agency, right? Because it's always like this nuance, like did he say he said a son for a son, but what did he really
that's
mean?
Another thing. He never gave,
and that's what
we never get that. Yeah. That's a big thing with the show and in the book. Well, not the book as much, but in the show, they never show Daemon actually either giving the order to, if that happens, kill this person, or like not saying heir for a day. You know, it always seems like we leave that to the imagination. So is Daemon really bad, or is he just things happening and he just doesn't, defend himself?
I
they kind of leave that up
in the risk. I don't think they want to
politics.
risk. I don't think they want to risk him being seen as a bad guy because the ladies all like slide out of their chairs for him.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. They want to kind of Loki him.
The ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, it really does.
It's stupid because I thought that they showed him being plenty awful in season 1. So, and the women still loved him. What I've seen the new Benioff and Weiss doing, they're almost bitter that the women still like Daemon despite it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they're like, well, don't they know that he's not a good person? It's like, no, we never got it, but maybe he's actually the only compelling character that's even in the entire show. And the whole Benioff and Weiss thing they're doing, the way when they said, well, when we wanted to approach the Blood and Cheese, we were thinking, let's make it like a heist thing gone wrong, or that's what the actor had said he was directed, and that they wanted like a Coen brothers heist.
My favorite part of a heist movie is when the guy kicks the dog.
Yeah, exactly. That's just the whole thing. It's like they're saying what we want to do now.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it their own, and it's like, wow.
There is not one damn guard. Not one.
Well, there was one.
Nobody looks at the little people.
There was one. Mason, what were you going to say before?
That was huge.
I think we're kind of overlooking Helena's situation.
Okay.
Look, she's not like, she obviously has like mental problems with being a dreamer and also being like not your average person.
Right. No,
she has to deal with this,
cues.
And she does everything she can to try and save her kid. She takes the necklace and offers that to them, trying to bribe them to go away. And when they threaten to kill all of them, she then does the pointing and says, you can take that one, which still she ends up like not being happy with that decision. And like, she's the only
problem,
one
Mason. The problem with it, Mason. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, buddy. No, she is innocent. You got to give it to her. But the problem with it is it's a daughter and a son, and she points at the son. And it's like, they don't know the difference. And the whole thing in the book.
She's thinking this all out, though?
Well, in the book, she does.
Threatening to kill one of my kids?
Yes, in the book, she does. And they actually threaten to do something terrible to the little girl.
Yeah.
And Allison
she's
is
the older
there,
one.
actually.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's completely different with it. Like, and that's what it
Are
takes
we
away.
not going to point out Allison is not even in there with her?
She's not even in the room.
You don't think that?
Right. No, she's doing.
She might not
else.
have a good poker face, though. She might not be able to make a convincing line.
That's not what we're saying. Maylor? They killed Jaehaerys. Maylor is essential. He is now the second line into the throne in the book canon. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a big storyline that happens.
This is big.
But there is a big storyline that happens in other parts of Westeros with Maylor and even
a very large woman.
And he's gone now. So how are you going to incorporate that if you are? Because they said that they are at some point.
And Aegon has no natural son.
So does Maylor need to be an adult for this?
No,
or a
he was
kid?
A small child.
No. He was a small child.
So could Helena be pregnant soon after this and have the 9 months later?
This
he's
is
a baby.
the second
taking up for him.
It's possible, and I actually thought about that too. The problem is the decision. That was the biggest part of this whole blood and cheese thing is the decision the Sophie's choice moment where she has to choose, or they're going to kill everybody and do something horrible to their little girl. And what she decides is in that split second, if I have to choose one, I will choose the younger son, because one, he won't remember it. He won't. He's too young to understand. He definitely won't remember it. And
do you remember when your head got sawed off? No.
That one time.
When did that happen?
And also, it wasn't sawed off either. It was just one strike of the sword.
Yeah, no, we heard a hacking off of this.
That's how legends change, though. They hack at this poor baby for however long
it's terrible.
to remove the head.
Did you see the subtitles? It said gnawing flesh and bones, like the sound. So just so you knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, we knew what was happening there. I'm talking about the stories that are being told later on. Stories change over time and are embellished over time.
Do you think they're going to keep the never-ending story part of it, where he's like, "Boy, you want me to pick this one, but it's actually this." You know what I mean? It's actually this one.
And then the other one's like, "No, she's telling the truth."
I would know this.
Yeah. You know that I know that you know that I know. You want me to pick this one, but I know that you know it's this one.
Yeah, you see, they made it funny inadvertently. They should have been a scene that we were just sitting there with horror, and you were like, "What the hell is going on?" And I saw somebody, a YouTuber, making fun of it, saying they're like those heist guys in Home Alone. They're just bumbling everywhere.
They were bumbling it up.
They don't look like they're the guys that could logically work out that she was lying or anything like that.
Right.
They couldn't logically work out a rat trap.
And I also he wasn't a rat. He didn't know. Philly, I do agree with you. It was done. The way they did it was tasteful, still intense. That's not where we're going with it. What I'm saying is that by taking away the three children that they had in the book and just having a daughter and a son, and then she chooses the son, that makes no sense, because her mind really works quickly in the book. She's like, okay, I tried everything to stop this. They're going to kill us all. I'll choose the youngest. He won't know what's happening. He's also not the heir. And he won't remember because his head's off. And then they go, they kill the heir and tell the little boy, see, your mom wants you dead. That is so terrifying and horrible. And even if they were only going to have two kids, they should have had an older brother and a younger brother. So that moment is even more important, because they killed the heir and now he's the heir, but now they have no heir. There's no heir except for Aemon, and that makes no sense to me. But I'm being definitely nitpicky, but once you start making these little changes this early in a show,
once you start pulling that thread,
it goes down a terrible path, and that's why I'm worried
about. Getting pregnant.
And like Alex said in that comment, the sound for me, like I'm not going to complain about the gore if it was strange, it was too much. So, I mean, it was creepy. It was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Because you see them, they put, I forget who does it, but they put their hand over the mouth of the child. He makes the sound, and then it cuts to her running out, and then you hear the noise and the motion.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it was like you said, it was tastefully done. Like, you're just missing one.
I don't
you're
know
missing
if tasteful is the word that I would use.
No,
I know.
They didn't show a child getting his.
Yeah,
you know.
and I find it a straw man. I keep seeing people say that. I'm not seeing anyone saying they actually wanted more gore from the death scene. People are not saying that. I don't see where this is coming up, because I've seen that cropping up all over my timeline. People are saying exactly like what you're saying, Scott. And to be honest, in the show, they actually were more graphic than in the show when it came to the death, because again, we weren't hearing those sounds. They had to be like one with sound. They didn't have to have those horrible sounds. They could have just shown us them going toward the child and then cut away from her. So it's not the gore that people want. We want the psychological gore.
Real quick, Christy, mad.
I guess I have a question. Did they know that one was a boy and one was a girl when
they didn't know the difference. They were like,
no. I'm asking, did they know going in there if there was one boy, one girl?
No,
they didn't even know who Helena was. Who the hell was she?
The reason why I asked,
a gold cloak may not know what the queen looks like.
The reason why I asked was because why didn't they just do a cup check, a penis check?
Well, he said that. Look,
okay. How about this? Can we go? I don't want to talk about that anymore. All right. Corliss. Can we talk about Corliss? And is that Alan or is that Adam that he's talking to?
That's Alan.
Yep.
That's the younger of his two illegitimate sons.
It's the older of his two.
No, Adam's the older one.
The big guy was the older one.
Adam's Adam becomes the heir. Spoiler.
Yeah. That's the older one. That is.
Who knows what they do with it?
So Corliss, that scene, definitely you felt that awkwardness in the scene. Now, does Corliss know that's his bastard?
I think so. To talk to, because there's some people that are saying that he doesn't know it yet, but I thought the awkwardness was there for him to know.
Yeah, I thought he knew too, and he put his bastard in awkwardness. Yeah, I thought he put his bastard in a position, but it seems like, not Adam, Alan knows, and maybe Corliss doesn't, because you definitely see his side. Like, he's definitely like, all right, Dad, I saved you. It's my job. That was a good scene.
That whole relationship, I don't know how and why they're playing it out the way that they are. It just seems really weird.
Why?
Well, isn't he supposed to be? Well, like, obviously it was supposed to be Laenor's. Like, Adam was supposed to be Laenor's.
Yeah, that's what
son.
I thought too.
Yeah, but
Adam
looking
is
at him,
Laenor.
So this.
Well, that's Alan. Alan, there's a difference. Like, for some reason, maybe I read it wrong in the book. Alan is his Corliss' his bastard, but I thought Adam was Laenor's.
They theorize the brothers are supposed to. They say that the brothers are supposed to be Laenor's, but honestly, it's probably more Corliss.
And they say that in the book, right?
So we're led to believe that Corliss was screwing around.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he waited until, spoiler, after Rhaenys went to the great beyond to legitimize them.
Yeah. Spoiler that up.
Guess I don't have to watch the rest of the season.
Is
the Great Beyond like the Black Panther place?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all psychedelic. Purple, a lot of purple. So let's get back to
like Godzilla.
Rhaenyra, the scene where she finds the dragon wing. Okay, that one
didn't make sense. It's like happens to walk up a hill and look down at a beach just as they caught a dragon wing in their fish net.
Oh no, I thought they were announcing the fact that the dragon wing was there, and she came down seeing it because they all scattered.
Oh, so she heard it while she was flying above.
Wing. It's a dragon wing. She noticed the wing on the.
I think she did. I think
convenient.
Well, I don't know. I think she's been flying around that harbor for a while, and
yeah,
I think it implied she was looking. So. Yes, it was convenient that she flew over at that moment, but Mason, right? I feel like she was
been there for looking for days,
couple days. Yeah,
yeah, but think of the distances where he could have disappeared.
Right, she lucked out.
But Europe.
Those people were like yelling and stuff, and like a big group of people. You'd go down to check it out,
right?
Especially if it's in the area.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't know the area.
Coastline. Yeah, the coastline has to be pretty big, right?
Yeah,
you're telling me she doesn't know the coastline between Dragonstone
flying up and down
End?
it for weeks.
Yes, up and down it for weeks, and she just happens across the one group that found something in the ocean.
Yeah, it just happened to be in that little area.
It happened then rather than her being on the other side of the coast.
You know how many times she's had to go up and down that coast in the 10 days since
7
this happened?
Yeah,
Sorry,
but you still have to be there at the right time, and it's like 1 in 10,000 chance or something that.
But let's just say she did, and it is. I have to say her acting is fantastic. But
hell yes.
Another thing you have to realize is like people were like, because they do have like a connection with their dragon. So people thought, the dragon roared because of her pain. Well, also that's her dragon's child too.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one that gave the egg for that I always forget the names. Shit.
Dragon.
Is that right?
Cyrax.
No, not Cyrax. Mason, what?
Is it Arax? Is that
Arax.
Is that right?
That's Viserys's.
Ajax?
No, not
Arix.
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 Oh.
Arrax.
Okay.
Prolax?
Well, anyways, it was a scene where two mothers were mourning. I thought that
I did love that the dragon almost looked like it was going over there to comfort her.
Yeah.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I appreciated that tiny little moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also had a little bit of a whimper before it roared like a puppy does.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of messed up that she just left the dragon there and didn't like burn that too.
No, I think that they disposed of the dragon. They just on the pyre they were
burning the clothes.
Yeah, we're burning his clothes. I had no body to burn.
I thought she was gonna find like an arm.
Because if you noticed,
I thought they were gonna like throw a leg in there or something.
Yeah.
Is there no?
Did you see little Joffrey put a toy dragon on the pyre?
Yeah. So. Touching. My favorite part when the person did that thing and another.
Yo, come on. Don't spoil it for me.
Do they have a case for ownership? Because if you find it in the ocean, that's like with sunken pirate ships or whatever, right? If you find it, it's yours. So
unless a dragon comes along, unless a dragon comes along and lands on you,
hey, you got my wing. And they're like, oh, we didn't know it was your wing.
I think rock, paper, dragon, you win.
Yeah, we thought it was a community wing. Everybody.
Can you imagine Tywin Lannister giving the heir to the throne a pony ride?
Oh God, that scene was
By the way,
great.
He was adorable. That little kid.
He really is.
With that fucking wig.
Yeah, now he's dead.
You've seen like Glidus do the videos of like Tyrek Lannister is a horse and doing like all the a horse videos.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a reference to that?
Oh, I maybe.
I hope so.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
That'd be really funny.
I do have to say one other thing that I noticed. Do you think they were setting up Blood and Cheese in season 1, not just with Helena and her dreaming, but you always saw rats like running across beams when they were laying in bed, a rat like slithering by.
Well, they also made a little bit of a focus on the rats as well. So seeing a rat, and I don't know if you realize, but Cheese was in this episode 4 times before he spoke.
Yes, he was
in the background. Yeah.
Do you think Martin Scorsese was making a reference in Departed at the end with the rat? I mean,
I think so. Yeah.
It's medieval times. There's rats all over the castle.
Bruh.
Can I make a real stupid point that it's probably nothing to do?
Please, will help me.
But with the rats, I was like, well, I mean, is Laris like a skin changer or something like that? Is that the reason why with the rats? I mean,
people thought he was a green. That was one of the
green
theories that came
whatever
up.
it is.
Yeah, people came up
he would
as
be silly enough to make a video on that.
Did I? I did.
I mean, it is what it is.
Like
but
one of my only videos.
Matt has a point. I mean, there's supposed to be rats everywhere. It's King's fucking Landing,
right? And I'm just saying, like you can tie it together, but it was more like the rats are everywhere because rats are everywhere. People are rats. Rat. Okay. What other scenes? So let's get to the small council meeting. Because there was some stuff going on there that later on I thought was kind of a great scene. You have the Hand of the King, Otto, kind of downplaying and like pretty much squashing anything the Queen said. And you have Aegon, who the actor for Aegon, giving him the sense of humor that he has. Like, I actually think that guy is awesome. Like the way he plays Aegon in this kind of like, not goofy, but like funny way is.
I like him a lot.
I do too.
He has a little Joffrey to him at points, especially during the council or whatever.
When he makes the look at him,
yeah. But man, I appreciated him. Like, oh, we took your sheep. Well, here we're gonna give him back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Seeming
and then
like he wants to be a good king.
To the hand, though. He even stood up to the hand, which I
With
really appreciated.
Who was Adam of the Hull? That's an important character.
It kind of reminded me
the Hammer.
of
You mean Hugh
the Hammer, and that was
Hugh the Hammer.
I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm leaving.
That was
Jane in the chat.
Jane, I didn't just say that. Oh God, it's so jarring. It's like he's bipolar. Who you're talking about? Aegon.
Aemon. Oh, Aegon. Sorry, Aegon was a completely different character.
Yeah,
I like this version of him because I like that he stood up to the hand. But if I could just finish real quick, it kind of reminded me. Remember Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator when he's like, "We got to help the poor," or whatever accent he was using, I can't remember. And they were like, "Have you ever been around the leopards? Have you ever held hands with them?" And they kind of make fun of him, but he was trying to do the right thing. Just doesn't. But he has no concept of how to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like we could just give him back his sheep.
Trying to put it out there. Yeah.
Right.
Kind of the same thing, right? He knows he should be trying to have the appearance of helping them, but he doesn't really know how it works.
Right. Like what I got from it is like he actually does want to help the small folk. He just doesn't realize everything that comes along with just saying, "Oh, we'll give you your sheep back." And then you have Otto, who's the guy who's been there for 2 other kings, is like, "No, if we do that, they're all going to come here saying they want their sheep back. We got to feed the dragons, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Okay." But the one with the blacksmith.
That was an awesome line, though, when he says, "Well, how would they know?"
Yeah, exactly. He won't tell anyone.
Just don't tell anybody. Yeah.
That was great.
We'll
and I like when
on the low,
or when he's walking in and they're like the Magnimus or whatever he says. Magnanimous. Yeah, I can't say that word. He looks at him. He's like magnanimous. I can't.
He's like,
just his little moments. I thought he was really funny, and something I appreciated with the small council. If you see, like he had to find his son. He had to come to the small council. He has to learn how to be king because Aegon was never taught anything like that.
Right.
So it's almost like he realizes his dad didn't prepare him at all because he never planned on him being king, but he never even gave him the opportunity to see what his father does. So it's like he's like,
we have to start over.
Yeah, well, he's like, I want to make sure my son. Yeah, I know now. Yeah. Oops. He wants to make sure his son knows. So I thought that was a good point.
Aegon now.
Yeah.
I get so worried for him sitting on that damn throne. I'm like, dude, don't get nicked, man. It does not go well. If you get nicked. And he's just laying around drunk talking about dragon cocks. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? This is not the safest place.
Right. Yeah, and Jane, you might have a point, but in the moment, I liked them.
Yeah, this has to do with their inconsistent writing because I think they maybe changed their mind about how they wanted to present him. And it's like, well, they presented him one way in season 1 and like, oh, he's going to be a rapist and almost a borderline psychopath. And then now they're trying to endear him to us. So
But they did that just specifically just so they could kill his son off. That's all it was. Just so you get an emotional reaction about that.
Well,
like,
but
he wasn't a
Jedi. They should have kept the writing and the character consistent up to this point. Now, if they wanted him to be a bit of a psychopath after this whole blood and cheese thing, which would also be a little bit consistent with the book, that's one thing. But
do you want the writing to be consistent? I get that what we're seeing on the screen is supposed to be reality. So the idea is, as the years go by and the generations go by, the story changes.
Right, but does the core of the
a week ago?
Yeah, I think the writing just
sucks.
And they've also said that the book, as the Maester wrote the book, that it favored the Greens because the Maesters favor the Greens.
Yes.
So they're going to make Aegon look like a good king, a good father, a good provider because he's.
But even the book, he doesn't come off as much. You know what I mean? Like if they favor the green in the books, like they make him seem. I like him more season 1, episode 1 than I like them at all in the book. You know, Mason was going to say something. What were you going to say?
I mean, I was going to say that I think that this is kind of more of a course correction because the actor who plays Aegon, he was talking about how it was very jarring because he was just playing this like absolutely awful person, and he really wanted to have some nuance to it, and like you still have this like evilness to him where he does the like Joffrey thing where he's trying to make Tywin Lannister piggyback his kid. He's just letting his kid bully him. He's laughing at it, but he also kind of sets that aside and gets down to business.
He does give him a look
want
like
to help the small folk.
But, he does.
He's kind of like adding in the story more to him that we didn't get to see in season 1.
Yeah, but within the story time thing, a week ago he was at the fighting pits.
Yeah,
so we're supposed to believe this is the same guy a week later. Not enough time has changed for him to change.
Yeah, he had a real turnaround.
Even Alan
found Jesus.
That says that he'll get bored of this play of power in a matter of weeks.
And so, like, did we get the idea when he was drinking with his buddies on the throne? It was all faking that with the small folk. Like, I got to make them. Did you get that vibe from it? Because I think that's what they were trying to give us, right?
Well, I think that him seeing all the small folk, I almost said free folk, all the small folk like cheering him on, him in this crown, holding Blackfire, that actually did give him a change of heart, and he wants to do good. But he's not going to know.
I think he wants to look good.
He's going to do bad things also. But
I think it was just a thrill.
I think all of y'all are right. I think he probably, for an instant, he genuinely did, but that overrides everything else with the cheering and just the congrats and just all the attention and stuff like that.
Right.
So you don't think he's going to be like chasing that thrill, trying to like do something really good? He
does want to look good. He wants to look good.
I mean, he's going to.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can see how it's already going to go through the rest of the season. I mean, he's going to make more and more stupider decisions, and he's going to get more mad and get rid of certain people and stuff like that, and then it's all going to lead to something really. I don't even know if that's going to happen this season or not. So I'm not even going to say anything.
Well, and Jane puts this, if anything, Rhaenys sparing him should have given him a change of heart. Like that could have been at least the angle they tried. But again, they don't give us enough
seeing
character
her murder a bunch of people.
Well, yeah, that too. But we don't get enough character interaction and development to even know if that affected him. You know what I mean? Like we don't even know how anybody was affected, Stig, by Aemon killing his cousin or his nephew. You know what I mean?
Too many people. Do you think they have too many characters? Sorry,
they can't handle it. We'll get to that. But what were you going to say, Stig?
It's like they focus completely on 2 or 3 characters, and then the rest are just background noise in a way. They never get really fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually noticed in season 1, a lot of the character names are only mentioned once. And then the character shows up again 4 episodes later. And, it has to be tricky for the audience.
Yep.
To remember who was who.
And they did such a good job in the first how many seasons of Game of Thrones to let you know all these different characters. We knew a world of characters.
I feel like if you're not one of the two main chicks, everybody's just going from big moment to big moment. Those important story points, or you know what I mean? That, and that's it. But you see no development or any change in between those big moments for the secondary characters, right? It's just they have to do this because this is important to the overall arcing
to move
story.
The story along.
Right. But they never give any time for you to grow with them. You're just now expected to go along with who they are now.
And that's what happened with I'm sorry, real quick, Stig. That's what happened with Helena. It's like she's a very important part when it comes to Blood and Cheese, but we didn't get enough of to feel for her in that decision from her. There was nothing from season 1 that gave me any oh man, that's it sucks, but I wanted to feel that death, her choice. Well, it wasn't even a choice really. They just.
Do you think that that's a lack of talent? Because like we talked about earlier with Aegon,
or
who was
budget.
the dude I liked?
Yeah.
No. Who was the dude I liked? Was it Aegon, right? That went
Aegon,
back after
the king.
Right? No, he's not a king.
Oh, you like Aemon, the
whoever
one
was that was talking to Rhaenyra.
How many eyes does he have?
Oh, that's
he has 2 eyes.
Okay.
He was talking to who?
To Rhaenyra's the
Damon.
No,
not Damon.
You're talking about
the one that was at the ice wall. That
the
rode
son,
dragon.
her son.
Cregan.
Yes, her son.
No, not Cregan. Her
Jace.
son, Jacaerys. Okay.
Jace.
So many names for these. I don't know any of their names because I don't give a shit about all these people.
Stark.
Jace.
Anyway,
but you fell for him this episode, didn't you?
Oh, that's what I was saying, right? Like his scene, I think it was his talent that was a bigger impact in the story or the scene. And with the Fatata lady, right? I don't think she had that same level of talent to make you buy into her emotion,
right,
as quickly and as with little screen time as the other guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
a retard.
Come on now. Come on. What does Philly say?
He made me do it.
Oh, I thought you were saying she was Mexican. Oh, never mind.
Oh my
me too.
What? Even Damon...
you know what? If they were Mexicans, they could cross the wall easily, couldn't they?
Oh my God,
Steve.
I knew it was going to be a wall joke too.
Yeah, Philly, you're right.
Wall. They'd be.
And also, she'd have more kids if she was Mexican.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move
Matt,
on.
I agree with you.
You think the wildlings had to pay for the wall?
Oh shit.
Yep.
They may have.
The books.
We're gonna build a wall. It's gonna be made of ice. The greatest ice you've ever seen.
The greatest ice. It's gonna be the biggest, tallest ice you ever seen.
The Porking Orc got demonetized once because of House of the Dragon.
That's true. I did get demonetized. So let's not.
You know
do it
what?
Again.
At the at the tourneys they have, if they introduce cross country, the Mexicans are going to win.
Oh, yeah. Well, South Americans. Anyways, he's Norwegian.
Are we forgetting about the Targaryens that disappear by the Game of Thrones? Those guys, like Kenya. Kenya is a country. Those guys can run.
Well, they have the Summer Isles. Yep.
Can I pause a minute to
please
totally crap all over Rhaenys?
I was literally just about to do it. I was literally I was waiting for it.
Oh, well, you could order me if you were the king. And
that
I'm like,
was
bitch,
bad
you aren't allowed to speak. That bitch isn't allowed to speak.
Yeah,
because
that's what I said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Tina. I sounded a little mean there, but
no, you're
okay. I know that you like her, Tina, but because they ruined her in episode 1, season 9, she doesn't get a right to do anything. She's slaughtered.
Reverse that.
Reverse
that. Season 1, episode.
And it's going to be part of the reason why Rhaenyra is going to be fucked when she tries to rule King's Landing, and then, as Damon says, it's because of you, everything was fucked. And
but you have to agree, though, that scene was acted impeccably.
Oh, I think she's a great actress, and I feel badly for her that they had that writing for her.
She was amazing.
Oh, I love her. I mean, she's a great actress. I'm not blaming the actress.
She plays bitch well.
even the writing at that moment, but I'm saying because they ruined the character, whenever they have to try her to come back and have the high ground, she lost the high ground forever.
Christy.
Season 1, Damon would have turned around and called her a cunt. Plain and simple.
But that's the whole
At that
point.
moment.
Is Damon is fatter and slower and more angry. He's not composed at all. He has no idea how to fight a battle because he just now wants revenge, and he's pissed at Rhaenyra and he's pissed at the Greens.
Well, the thing is he doesn't know what to do with his rage. He doesn't know what to do with his rage right now. He wants to do anything.
Well, you've also got to think he still thinks that his brother was killed. He still believes that the king was murdered.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Right.
I see. I had to bring out a character flow chart because I was getting confused with all of this. I get what happened earlier.
And also, he was getting his wild oats kind of sown in the book at this point because he was out taking Harrenhal and saying, I'll burn you. And he had already taken Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And the whole discussion about the blood and cheese thing had been through Raven.
He just, he just sent a letter saying a son for a son. You know, like,
does Rhaenyra have a hand of the queen yet? Because
I think
it's Damon.
Damon is, so he really technically could have made decisions without her there.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say.
I hear you, Tina. I mean, Eve Best is a great actress, and she's doing great with what she has. I am just lamenting the fact that they ruined her character so that the way she's acting now, like she should be acting far more humble and less snotty after what she
not
did.
with Damon, though. Not with Damon, because she's still, like Jane is saying, she blames Damon for the death of both her kids, her son and her daughter.
That's true.
Okay,
That was the
and
best part of the conversation too, is when she talked about she was speaking from a woman who had already lost a child and everything that she needed to say, okay, I accept this and I can move on. Because Rhaenyra came back ready to kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Scott was looking at me. He's looking at
No. What I was going to say is we got a super chat. $20 from According to Christy. I'll take it. Thank you, Christy. First one of the show. And she says, fudge this show.
I said, fuck this show. That's what I said.
That's it. That's it.
Right?
That's it. I'm sorry. I thought that was a
Do you mean the show that we're on now or the show we're talking about?
The one that we're talking about, of course.
Looks like you had to send another super chat to clear that up.
Clear that up. Yeah.
No, so, all right. Jane and I were in the chat. We're talking about this with Rhaenyra. We wanted her to, like a montage at the end. She's like, "Oh, I'm putting on my armor, gonna go burn some shit down." You know what I mean? Like,
she's more badass in the freaking book, man.
You know, if I can hit a couple bells or whatever, that makes them go crazy, right?
Kill
not the
like your
bells.
cupbearer.
Yeah,
just kill your cupbearer. You know what I mean? Just do something crazy and just slash your cupbearer's throat and be like, "We're going to war." But all she says is she wants Aemon, and like that in the book is more Damon doing it.
Okay. Yes,
they say like in the after show, it's like you see the side of her that's a lot like Damon. It's almost like a cue to him, like do what you need to do. But I think she's just really from the acting, it's like she's just a mother, still not the queen. She's a mother in distress, and she just wants vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm.
Is that what you're looking at?
Because I was getting so confused.
There we go.
I was mixing things up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Big ups for Ray
really
Royce. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the bronze cunt. She's there.
Keep going down. I want to see
Bronze
what they show for.
That's what she said.
Okay. All right, slow down.
Yeah.
Where is
no nettles.
Oh, don't get me. Go
back up. Where's Aegon? Oh, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just starting to rant. I'm starting to get incoherent rage. But we also know that in the next episode that Rhaenyra is going to get all high and mighty and be like, I didn't want this. Like a Jon Snow. I think Christy was what we were saying earlier.
But I don't think she wanted a child to die. I don't think she wanted a child to die. I think she was completely fine with revenge. But I can't imagine she'd say, no, go ahead and, kill my nephew.
I wonder what they're going to do with the head.
Yeah, well, but like I'm saying, but it's once again, it's just becoming a pattern of everything that happens is never Rhaenyra or Alicent's fault. Yeah,
right.
So
right.
you guys know, you know how Aemon really wants to be Damon.
Yes.
Well,
Wait,
now he
who
has
was
a
that first
chance.
person?
He can be betrothed to his niece.
There you go.
Come of age.
There you go. Hey, real quick, thank you for everyone out there. We got about 130 something people watching live right now. Please hit that like button real hard.
Almost at 40 likes.
How
We're
many?
almost at 40 likes.
Almost 40
Yeah, we're
likes, and
writing
we have
down
like
names too.
we have
Okay, I just
90
disliked
some
it.
odd. Okay, thank you, Christy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was
What
Christy.
was
Fuck
it?
this
Yeah.
show.
So another scene. Let's get to two other scenes. We got Lars, the strong, who is
What?
spinning his web.
Is he not on the council yet?
I thought he already was. He was part of the pact. He is the master of whispers, but maybe he just wasn't there for the small council, which is kind of weird. But he does speak to the king and put it in his ear, like, Otto was your dad's hand. Time to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Caused all
Wait, are we
sorts of
talking about the
chaos this
guy?
episode.
The guy
Mhm.
with the foot fetish?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
foot
Yeah.
fetish
Rex
guy.
Ryan
Yeah,
in the
foot boy.
Westeros?
Now
Nobody
he
can get
knows
that
everything.
reference.
Does he know about Kristen Cole and her? Kristen
Oh,
going down for some
absolutely.
crack?
He
Oh,
knows her
yeah.
entire.
Oh, you hit a nerve.
Indisposed.
I like how all the
Wait,
women, spoke up at once about that.
Immediately.
Well, but
It
I
seems
You
really
think,
like,
you think he's going to be more pissed when he realizes that she took her shoes off for Cole?
Oh shit! Yeah, she did.
Yes.
Tina, what were you
Because
going to
they
say?
made a point of showing her putting her shoes back on. They
Yeah.
focused on that in that scene. So I was like, oh, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, he's
Like,
there's gonna have a
does she
scene
have a
next,
foot thing
next
now?
week? It's like, that's my territory, bucko.
Yeah.
The look on Allison's face, though, when she was talking to Laris, made her realize, oh shit, you replaced the entire household. They all report to you.
Yeah,
So you
That's why
already
she was
know that
scrubbing
I'm
herself.
with Kristen Cole. Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone that's with her right now, her maidens, are all spies,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, I could do that
Yeah.
myself. Just get my
Yeah.
shoulder
Why
really
is the
good.
rat catcher still there?
Look,
Remember, he
Lars-
was not he's not an upstairs. He was a downstairs rat catcher.
right, but Lars
You think he
definitely
would've
does
mentioned
things. Well, Lars does. Yeah, right. They didn't even ask though. Lars definitely has his hands in both pots. He is doing things that is counterproductive for the Greens. Definitely in the book. So he's playing his own game. But why would, I don't know, something about Aemon trusting him is a weird one to me. Is that all it takes to get the hand fired? Hey, Otto sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I think the hand getting
Fucking
fired
Christy.
is going to be add more fuel to the flame after he finds out that Jaehaerys is dead.
Yeah. Oh,
Then he's
yeah,
going to
it's
be like, all right, it's your fault. We haven't been kicking ass so far, Otto. So you're out.
yeah.
Well, they do make a point of that in the books. He bursts in and he says, "Well, wars aren't won on quills. They're won in the battlefield. Why aren't you doing something about it?" Because he doesn't see what Otto's been doing, trying to gather alliances. So it very well could be that he blames him for it.
Oh my God, that's so cool. I'll show that in a minute, buddy. Thank you for sending that. So another thing that was cool is the discussion. Did you guys like the discussion between Queen Alicent and her father, where she's just breaks it down to him like, we got to work together. You got to stop, make my kids won't trust my decisions if you keep squashing everything I say, because they realize that Aegon could be a big problem. So they did everything to get him onto the throne because he is the heir, but really it was so they can control the Seven Kingdoms.
I think it's bullshit because he should have been like, well, then stop saying dumb shit and I'll stop undermining you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I've been the hand of the king for 5 decades now. I think I got a handle on it there, chick.
I think though that they left that conversation go on because you want to now think, well, Otto was the good guy. He was the only voice of reason in the room. Blah 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 blah.
Otto.
Yeah,
Otto.
I don't know.
kinda
But
felt
That
like
was
this
your hand of
was,
the king. Hand of the king.
Mason,
Otto.
Mason.
Yeah, I felt like this was kind of dumb because like you're telling someone that you don't know is on your side or not. Like you kind of have different goals. You're like, oh hey, by the way, you're kind of undermining my position. You're kind of winning the war. You could take my sons from me instead of saying
Right.
something like, if you keep undermining my voice, neither of us will be able to control them. You say,
right?
Yeah, I'll have no leash on my kids.
Right.
It kind of felt like you're exposing your weakness.
Just putting it out there.
Felt like that.
No, that's a good point, man. That's a good way of looking at it. She actually got vulnerable and was just like, look, you're screwing this up for both of us. I don't know, but according to Christy, sent 2 more super chats. And it's 2 feet, paw prints, a foot, paw prints, 2 feet, a foot. Show me them feet. Smiley face, smiley face. Thank you, Christy. And also Cole over here getting that peach and an eggplant.
He's having a salad.
She likes vegetables.
Cole. I'm going to need a second chart of the non.
Cole was the only. He was pretty much the only Kingsguard other than is it Eric?
Oh, the one that face planted.
Eric.
It's Eric and Eric.
Well,
and Eric.
Can we say that? Yeah, the face planter. Eric, or whichever one's on Team Black, because I always screw that up. He had one of the best lines.
It's A for Allison. A for Allison. So Eric.
No, A for asshole for being on the wrong team.
Okay, so Eric.
Okay, that's weird.
Eric. But he had one of the best responses to Damon being like, if you did your job and just killed them when you were there, none of this would have happened. And my son would, or Rihanna. I was about to say.
Rihanna would never have gotten beat.
Yeah. Umbrella. She, he would still be alive. And he's like, well, we took oaths to defend the royal family, all the family.
Yes.
But when they start killing each other, what are we supposed to do? Oh, I thought that was one of the best lines of the show.
I like yes, absolutely. I like the twins. I want more of that because it's like the Civil War, brother against brother.
Oh, you'll get one more episode.
You'll get a next episode, buddy.
Oh, you will. You will.
Just make sure you forget about the time that Kristen Cole tried to take out one of the prince's eyes.
Already have.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to show you guys a little something here that the great mod Soul Assassin sent. Soul Assassin in the house, mods of mods. And if you guys are there, he's telling you to smash the like button and subscribe. So please do. So here we go. This is the Empire State Building, which is whoever put that up. Damn.
You may want to mute it.
Oh, yeah, huh? Sorry.
That's awesome.
That is really
one
cool.
hell of a budget.
Yeah, right?
Well, did you hear about the other things they did in New York where they had there was the Manhattan Bridge and the other bridge. One had the house, one had the blacks, one had the greens.
That's right. The Brooklyn Bridge and George Washington.
I don't know.
That was CGI though.
Yeah, that wasn't real. I think that got community noted. Not this one. The bridge with the flags hanging. I think.
Really?
I think that was CGI and got noted. But this is
that would have been good advertisement.
This is nothing compared to the dude that was riding the sandworm or whatever for Dune 2 in the theater. Do you know? Oh, okay.
Oh,
I got the video. I got
find that. Find that.
Oh, yeah.
We can always go off topic. Philly says, where is Sir Westerling, the one knight that went to Dragonstone in season 1 and switched sides from Green to Rhaenyra's side? Oh, yeah, he went with Eric. Oh, shit. Where is that dude? You never see him. Yeah. Now,
he's somewhere where Dario is. They forgot about him too, remember?
Yeah.
He's just
gone. Just gone.
Yeah,
just
is
like
he,
all
doing another project right now.
I don't know, but I do know that they tried to say that Aegon went drinking and that's why none of the Kingsguard was on the floor when Blood and Cheese happened. But like there wasn't one in sight on like multiple levels. No one like that was weird. I don't know.
No security during a war.
Well,
the only way.
Yeah.
1 second, one at a time. Go ahead, ladies first.
Oh, I was just gonna say you had that. They ran into that one girl who was handmaid or that assistant that attended, and she didn't say anything. She didn't alert anybody either. So I'm just like, huh?
Well, they let her live where in the books she was killed.
Yeah.
Well, they killed Allison's handmaiden.
Yeah,
but
that's true. I didn't think about that. Okay, thanks. I forgot about that.
It's in the back.
But the thing of it is, that's probably deliberate. Who's now in charge of all the guards being up there? Do we know?
That would be Kristen Cole.
Yeah.
And maybe because he was doing what he was doing, he ordered everyone to leave the floor and go somewhere else.
But you think they still would have left a couple of them in the throne room as opposed to in the rest?
There was a couple in the throne room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see them in the
back. Yeah, they were in the throne room when they walked through.
In the throne room.
Oh, is this it? Hold on. What?
Oh, that's awesome. Totally geeky, but awesome.
Wait a minute, is he a Valerian riding a dune worm?
What?
He looks like Corlys.
No, he's one of the sand people.
That's so awesome.
Right? Imagine seeing that at your local theater.
That dude put in some effort, bro. That is great.
No one's paying him any attention either.
No.
That's so sad too. That would have been great to see. Like, and nobody's like, oh, the person is like, oh, what is this? I'm going to film this. I don't know what this is, but that looks great.
I feel like it had to be somebody with him that was filming it.
Where I live, we've got an amazing group of cosplayers, and before everything, whether it's Dune or a Marvel movie or whatever, they constantly have people coming in full costume, and they've always put up a background to take photos, and they are amazing with the kids when they come to these kind of movies. It's really cool.
Chicago?
Outside of Chicago, where we can still carry and not.
You're in town?
So Philly keeps coming up with great stuff. He said the presence of the King's Guard or guards in general has been lacking since season 1. No one gives a F in this era of Westeros, I'm noticing. Now, is that because they're such a powerful family? Like the Targaryens, the only thing that could bring them down is themselves?
Also the Kingsguard is split because there's 3 of them. The 3 of them have gone with Rhaenyra. So there's no longer the full 7 Kingsguard that are around.
That's true. So you got one giving hot D to the queen. And I guess the other 3 were with
the Dowager Queen. The Dowager Queen.
Yeah, the Dowager. You're going down on that queen. You know what I'm saying?
I walked into that one.
Yeah, you did. I'm really using the buttons tonight, everybody. 125 people watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you're here for the first time. We talk Song of Ice and Fire. We sometimes talk anime, and we sometimes talk conspiracies, ancient lost histories, and aliens. So stick by.
OC.
Y'all know Scott talks about that hentai instead of that anime.
Right.
I don't watch hentai. That's weird. I'm sorry.
I thought Christy was requesting it.
How do you know it's weird if you've never watched it?
Someone told me. I saw Heavy Metal, but that's anime.
By the way,
I have an anime joke for you.
Okay.
Oh no.
How do you get an anime schoolgirl to laugh?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It takes tentacles.
Oh.
Christy and I.
That's good.
That is not as bad as they thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. You got to tickle her from the inside. And so Scott, are you watching
your hometown?
Mayor of Kingstown? Yeah, apparently, Mayors of Kingstown, and because seeing fucking Oliver from the OC looks so goddamn old makes me feel so old now.
I only watched the first episode or 2, and I loved it. I just haven't gone back to it. Yeah,
he's the brother.
That's
Oliver from the OC.
Oh my god, it is.
Yes,
I didn't realize that. Oliver, man, you better watch out. That dude's a psycho. This is in Texas. Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas.
Yo, I have not seen this guy.
I want to see that guy. That's awesome.
What is he?
All right, we go off top.
Well, is he trying to?
I mean, HEB, I guess. Everything is better, not bigger.
Bigger.
Well, no, better. HEB. You okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I hit my funny.
Oh, I thought you were having a stroke.
Like a ghost.
Oh, I did grab my left arm. Yeah, no, the ghost. That'd be creepy. Anything else about this episode that you guys want to discuss?
You see Aemond and Cole doing strategy and stuff like that, and they make a few good points. It's very convoluted book wise, but they actually make good points. And you can already see a dysfunction, like in the small council. What they're trying to do is they're trying to secure the lands and stuff like that. And you see Otto coming in trying to talk, and it's just, I don't know. Aemon now. What I'm trying to say is, Aemon went from strategizing because he was helping his brother, and because he was supporting his brother, but then you have this now where he's technically the second in line to the throne, and is he going to change that plan over time?
It could change everything, right?
I mean, that's kind of something to throw out there, maybe, because he went from securing Aegon's rule to like, well, I can just rule.
Well, how many times have we heard he's not meant to rule? Like my brother is, like he said it last season.
Yeah,
I think he said it.
Perception. How could
I think he said it in this episode when he's talking to Kristen Cole when they were, strategizing, kind of bringing up what will happen in the future, where he's like, we can't just win with dragon. We need men on the ground, and the dragons can support them from the air. But that's a good question. What do you guys think?
And that brings me to my next question. Does Aemon know about Cole and his mother?
Well, there's something about that I just remembered, because we saw what Cole and everything was doing with the Dowager Queen. He was then drinking out of this glass of this wine, and then when Otto come in, he drinks from the same wine glass.
Oh, I thought he
no.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Hold on. So hold on. So
Go ahead.
Are you hypothesizing that he should be able to recognize the smell
of his own?
No, I'm just saying that there's a potential that he might have got some of his own daughter in his mouth.
Oh God.
I was thinking Aemon.
They're not Targaryens.
Well, as we were talking about the fact that
was
does
quite a mouthful.
Does Aegon know whether Kristen is sleeping with his mom? I guarantee you he doesn't know, because I don't care what king in the world is ever going to let somebody who's given it to
beneath
mom
them
live.
Well, it's also his subordinate. Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Kristen, why do you smell like my childhood? Go on.
Oh my God.
Wow.
He's like someone like you is beneath me. He's like, well, I was beneath the queen too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Full of that
Well,
medieval.
She was always in a position of power on him. She was always over the top of him. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Back to your question, Christy.
Wait, she's an asshole for putting her dress over his head and shit. You know how hot it is down there?
Oh, dude, he was
my
suffocated.
God.
That's like a velvet dress, too.
Yeah, she was totally trying to muffocate him.
It's a sauna down there, man.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if it was the accent or the word muffocate, but that was the funniest
It
thing
was
I've heard
just
in a long
great.
time.
It was perfect. I think it was everything.
Do we know what the title of the next episode
I'm
is?
writing it down.
I'll check that right now. We have
originally episode 2 was called Blood and Cheese.
Blood and Cheese, right? We have 140 something people watching.
They only changed it like about a month ago.
Oh,
let's see.
I mean,
It's a dance. I think it's a Dance of Dragons. Is the episode? Is the second episode title?
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Before we go, we do need to talk about
Blood and Cheese.
Oh, wait a minute. First Mason, then we'll go to you, Matt.
Yeah.
Mason.
I was gonna say the whole Blood and Cheese thing kind of felt like tacked on. Like it kind of felt like the episode kind of hit its end, and then it kept going. And I was like, "Oh, okay, I get more episode."
Yeah.
So I don't wonder if they had this tacked onto the beginning. They just decided to edit it into the end of this one.
Yeah. So you think maybe it was at the beginning of episode 2?
Yeah.
That actually is perfect for what I was going to bring up, because I wanted to talk about the editing before we go, because it's kind of sloppy. I talked about it earlier before we came on, though, about the boats that they've already changed. They've already gone in the episode and changed. There was a moment about 26 minutes in where you see the ocean and then the CGI boats pop in.
Yeah.
It's like a split second later, like, oh, dude. And it's such an easy split. It's such an easy fix in Adobe. I mean, it's so easy to fix that. You don't have to mess with the sound or anything. but it was just sloppiness. Like there's no quality control guy that's like, hey, before we air this, why don't we watch it first?
Well, that's
they were too busy looking for Starbucks.
Well, right. They're so like it's such a CGI show where they truly want to blend the CGI world with the real world, and they do a really good job with, like, when she slid off her dragon, she slid off a dragon. That was amazing.
Really good, yeah.
But then those little moments are like,
but that's an editing thing, not a CGI thing,
right? Yeah.
So
that's right. Okay. So wait a minute. You're saying the boat was there or not there?
There were no boats. Yeah, it was ocean, and then just a click later, then the boats appeared. Right. All they would have to do is cut out that little bit without the boats, extend the time on the other one, so you don't have to fuck with the sound at all, and then just move it to the transition from the scene previously.
It was only one frame. It wouldn't have made a difference to the sound anyway.
Right.
True.
That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. I don't know. Some of the direction too was a little weird. Like, again, the blood and cheese, it just I don't know, I'm glad they didn't show a child, but some of that just, I don't know, it just felt kind of thrown together. There wasn't like that smoothness you got in season 2 of Game of Thrones, where you felt like, because I'm gonna say whoever does their art design, like the actual like setting and stage, like unbelievable realistic. It looks like you are in an ancient castle. It looks great, but I don't know. This episode felt like it was kind of choppy.
Yeah, and it goes back to the editing, right?
Yeah.
It just feels lackluster in the editing. Also, the wig work in this was, oh boy, it took.
I got to say the Valerian girl. Oh, Christy, thank you so much.
While the show is going on, I'll become a member.
I'm fine with that.
House of the Dragon, that is.
Take that, Christy. Thank you so much.
And after that, fuck you.
Yeah, and if anybody else wants to become a channel member, there's a link somewhere. I appreciate it. But please just subscribe. I need you. No, thank you so much.
This show is wickedy.
You're welcome.
Whack, so.
Yeah, it is a little whack, dude. Like, I think that even with all the time jumps in season 1, the transitions were so much smoother than it is in one episode of season 2. It just felt like they didn't go in the order that maybe they wanted to present it in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
like the Alan of the Hull thing. Like, we only see him that little moment, like with Corlys, Corlys. Thank you. They like just throw him in for a scene. Like, it meant nothing to that episode. It's just like we're setting you up for they trying to set up a lot of stuff in this episode.
Matt, did you have to look up who it was?
No. So
he's black adjacent. He knows those people.
Yeah. I don't know what happens to them by the time season 1 of Game of Thrones comes around, but anyway,
they're all dead. Everyone
is.
It's
like, what Rings of Power kind of happened.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was that's part of the secondary characters are just background noise almost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But until they have an important moment, and then you're expected to just buy in because it's Game of Thrones. Does that make sense?
Right. No, you're absolutely right. You don't create that sense of you're part of that. You're connected with them. And I think what what I was going to say is Game of Thrones episode 1, season 1, you knew who Robert was. You knew the different Starks. Like, you understood all these different characters, and then you go into like the next episode and there is new characters you're starting to get to know. But in episode 1, I mean, you meet Dany, you meet the Starks, you meet everybody that's pretty much important in that first episode, but it doesn't feel like you're forced. It's just, you get to know them. I mean, Dothraki, everybody, you learn about all these people in this world. Now, we already had a full season. We had a full season packed 30 some odd years into like 10 episodes. And this first episode, I almost didn't feel like I knew some of the characters that well.
Yeah, it's like TikTok. It's just these small little bites that they're giving you, and they're expecting you to have that same emotional buy-in.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Christy? Was that you?
I was just it was me. I was just gonna say this now. Timeline, how they're doing this, they should have aged up the other kids too.
Yeah.
Joffrey, Helena's kids, and Daemon and Rhaenyra's younger kids, because they, I mean,
did we even see Daemon? Did we see Daemon and them, their kids?
Yeah, we saw them, but you saw them in episode 8 of the first season last. But you see them in
this episode. We didn't see them,
but they are some very small children.
Yeah, we're talking about Rhaenyra and Damon's kids, which are not
Viserys and
Daemon second, and
Aegon the second.
Right.
Yeah. Go, finish your thought though, Christy.
All I'm saying is they later on in the story they play very much bigger roles, and they have them as very small children. And how this timeline is supposed to be in the show, it's all packed in, and like they're not aging is what I'm.
Well, they usually age everybody up anyways, and they didn't do this. Like Rhaenyra in season 1, she was much older than she would have been in the books. You know, with that 8 to 9 years difference.
Yeah,
you know, like they could have easily have done that. And for the kids, that's what I'm trying to say. You're right. It could have aged them up too, and we would have been like, all right, that's fine.
Well, especially Joffrey, like, because Joffrey was supposed to have flown off when he's dragon with the shits, and you know, and swore a blood vengeance against Daemon. Yeah.
Yep.
And at the Battle of the Gullet, Aegon is supposed to be riding a dragon. Like
that's true,
right?
Is it possible?
That's true. I forgot about that.
Is it possible they're going to extend the number of years that make up the actual Dance of Dragons?
And that's what my next question was too.
Yeah. They have.
Are we going to be fighting for 10 years instead of for 18 months?
Yeah, because for people that don't know, that are only show watchers, in the book, the Dance of the Dragons, the actual fighting is 18 months, and really, you want to the actual real like battles are maybe in a 14-month. You know, things. So
even less than that, really.
Yeah, I was kind of being generous.
I would say 2 years, and that's being generous.
Two years from the time that Breezebury dies.
Yeah,
I think that the whole doesn't look like their aging has something to do with like in this world of Westeros, they still have the firmament or whatever around the world, and so that way it's a more oxygen rich world. Which is how you have dragons, because you know anything that big, like with the dinosaurs, you're gonna have a more oxygen-rich environment, right? So they can, you know, slow their aging would be slow because God hasn't caused the flood yet in the rest.
Right, they lived to like 900 and stuff. Yeah, no,
you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, that's why they built the wall to stop the water from coming in.
Yeah, Jane has a point though. If it was a 10-year battle, the kingdom would just be destroyed.
That's a good point, Jane.
Yeah,
not as good as mine, but it is good.
About the White Walkers.
Wait a minute, hold on. Go ahead, Mason.
I said that's why everyone forgot about the White Walkers. They're so busy trying to rebuild everything.
That's it. Yeah, I still can't get over how Cregan Stark is ready to fight the White Walkers, not seeing them for 9,980 years or so, and just less than 200 years later, Ned's like, they were around. They might even be a myth.
Well,
maybe.
Well, don't you think that Cregan? Well, don't you think that Cregan would have told like the heir to the throne, Jacaerys, the story about the White Walkers?
He just implied.
I know he
didn't get a chance to because of the Raven, but we didn't see them hunting. We didn't see them drinking. There wasn't any mention of Jon Snow.
Yeah, so
like
Sarah
Snow. Sorry, not Jon Snow.
Yeah, Sarah Snow. Yep. Yeah, they kind of left all that out. Go ahead, Mason.
Do you guys think that is all of the North that we're going to see this season?
I hope not.
They built
they built the wall set, and like they're obviously going to use it later. But
and they built Winterfell
I was thinking
too.
Maybe Jace could be talking to somebody, and he has like a flashback. He's like in Winterfell. Maybe we'll see that, because I was expecting
or he'll
him
go
to be
back.
in Winterfell for.
I mean, they're not following the book, so he can always fly back. You know what I mean?
So, are we to believe there is no pact?
Not yet. I mean, the pact of ice and fire is kind of a big deal doesn't come to fruition, but it's still a big deal.
When you watched in the background that Jacaerys and Bela were still very supportive of each other and happy to see each other, whatever. If Jacaerys had just basically married somebody else and fathered a child, he wouldn't be, Bela, glad you're here to comfort me. Thank you.
He'd be back and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, honey.
That brings up to a point.
No, you're right. That's a good point.
Either Tina or Teresa just said it, to where when they bring the wing and the shawl or jacket, whatever it is from Lucerys, and then they pan in on Rhaena's face. I mean, that really is heartbreaking to see. I mean, I
thought that again? Is so much better this season than it was last season.
Oh yeah,
she had every dreadlock from the continent of Africa on her head last season.
Yeah, and so this year it looks so much better, so much better. We lose Grant.
It might have been. I heard his kids, so he might have been.
Okay. Yeah, that part was the kid's fault.
The wig looked like it was her hair. It looks so much better this year. Better? I'm just saying on Bela.
No, Jane's saying it too.
But it was Rhaena. No, Rhaena's hair was really bad. Bela's was never bad. Rhaena's was always really bad.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly the white people with that blonde wig that they look very wiggity,
Yeah. Oh.
Like Damon, is that his name? Fuck, hold on.
Yeah.
Yep, Damon. His wig looks horrible.
Is it a wig?
Well, he's supposed to look like crap now.
Wait, his wig is supposed to look like crap? Is that canon?
Overall, he's supposed to look like crap.
Does he have dragon cancer?
Oh no,
oh, Jesus!
No,
that's the worst type.
Well, as far as Sarah Snow goes, I knew they weren't going to be choosing to do Sarah Snow because of the Oppression Olympics. There was no way they were going to have Jacaerys go and fall in love with a Caucasian
Sarah
lady.
Snow. Yeah,
Sarah Snow. Well, he's supposed to be, because after they did the race swap and all that, even though we knew that it was very iffy whether or not the whole Sarah Snow thing happened, it was not going to happen. And when I saw the promotion stuff where they're like, "Oh, Bela, you've got your boyfriend and all that," because we've talked last week that we're thinking that they're going to do some more switching. You'll go crazy since you're a fan of Eve Best and as Rhaenys, Tina, because if they're going to give some stuff from Rhaenys to Bela, that's what it looks like they might be doing.
Oh, was it Bela? I thought it was Rhaena who was going to.
No, Rhaena, they're doing nettles. Some of Rhaenys things may be given to Bela.
No, I'm sure. Trust me, I will weep in the next couple episodes. I guarantee you that, because I think she is one of the better actresses on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she does a fantastic job with the role. She's been in The Crown. She's been in loads of other things.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I remember
her
from Nurse Jackie.
The writers.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Rhaenys was in Nurse Jackie.
Yeah, she was the rich English doctor that that
right.
Jackie would hang out with all the time.
Okay, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Oh my God, that's her. Holy cow, that's right. They first of all, she doesn't have the black hair. That bothers me. That throws off all of Game of Thrones, the TV show. Ned was wrong. The seed is not strong. Yeah, Ned for nothing. Seed was not strong. Second, she is playing the role they gave her. So I would actually, like you said, if anything, blame the writing and not her. She's playing the way they probably are telling her to play that role.
Who are we talking about?
Rhaenys.
Daddy, these are chocolate.
Okay, darling.
Ooh, I love chocolate.
Ooh, I love chocolate too.
Chocolate is awesome.
And Jane
are we
is right
expecting Lane? I'm so sorry.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Are we expecting Laenor to come back?
Yes. It's either going to be a flashback or anything, but he's credited in an episode later on.
Really?
This episode, I think it was episode 5.
You know that beach scene where the two dragons are facing each other and Rhaenyra's walking up to somebody? That is going to be Laenor.
So, yeah, because in the books, Laenor actually is killed, and he's not just given an out to fly, go across the narrow sea. And that's when his dragon comes back with a different rider. but dragons can't have two riders, so he has to come back for that dragon to be involved somehow. That
Sure.
would just
What
be
if he
always
sacrifices
said that.
himself? What if he
Maybe.
sacrifices himself?
That would be.
So we're not going to point out that. And fuck, that's towards the end of the show. I don't want to talk about that. Well, I can say that we're not going to talk about how Viserys, Viserys the younger and Aegon the younger are bastards too.
Oh yeah, because they ruined it by making their marriage illegitimate.
Well,
because Leonor was
they
still
did
alive.
They did a Valyrian marriage.
It doesn't count. They're still bastards.
Yeah, because
No,
the marriage was invalid because
But
living
Valerians
cells.
can have more wives, or
Yeah,
they can have more wives
can
and
have.
husbands. So
Yeah,
Well-
I've always said they're Mormons of Westeros.
No.
No, that does
They
make
can't.
sense.
The Valerians can have multiple wives, but they can't have multiple husbands. There is a
Yeah,
difference.
because that would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Right?
that means that she has two husbands.
So
I
yeah,
don't-
that's a valid
I don't
point.
know about that. I mean, why were you saying the king's going to have two wives? I mean, I don't.
Because they're men.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Come on.
Do we have to walk
Way
you through this whole thing?
polygamy
Come on.
Men are
Please.
better than women.
I mean,
Of course.
Well,
Don't you know that?
say it out loud, I guess. No, that's a valid point. Like, if he's alive,
They call the
they are
dragon seeds, not the dragon
bastards.
eggs. So.
Oh man, that's hilarious. They're bastards. They really kind of, again, I do like the show. So people out there are like, oh, I hate these guys. All they do is hate.
Ooh.
No, we like to point out flaws that we see, and they really could start something in this episode that changes the next 3 seasons. And
It changes everything. What they've
Yeah.
already done changes a lot. Like,
Yeah,
literally right now there is no heir. As
Right.
we speak, there is.
Yeah,
So that's
that-
going to be a huge thing. Everyone that's on the council is going to need to go. Well, you're going to need to either have another kid, or
right. So
that
does
means
that
Aemon.
pick one
Aemon's
up.
officially going to be Aemon's going to be his official heir then.
Yeah,
There's
but does
orphans
that-
all over the goddamn city. Just get one. It's
yeah,
not that
one of
hard.
your- one of his
Put a blonde
bastards.
wig on it. You're good to go.
Yeah. Well, he probably has
Wouldn't that
bastards
be
But not a
totally-
blonde wig.
Wouldn't that be
He
totally
has
cool if
his
there was?
own kids all over the city.
Yeah, he does.
True.
Tina,
That's
what were you gonna say? Hold
Wouldn't
on,
it be
Tina.
totally cool if Aegon turned around and gone, well, what do you mean I need another heir? There is Jaehaer. Oh, shit. She's
Yeah,
a woman.
yeah. Like, let's just put it this way: if they have her then give birth to another son, like get pregnant, that ruins the whole arc of her craziness in Blood and Fire. Fire
Well,
and Blood.
the kid wouldn't be around by the time everything happens, though. That's the problem.
Right. Well, yeah.
So as we're wrapping up, because I think that you're saying you want to wrap up in about 10,
Yeah.
can we do like our expectations of what we want to see
Yes.
happen
That's what I
moving
was
forward would
planning
be a
on
good way
doing.
to.
I'm glad you said
Oh,
it. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
well,
No, let's
I'll
do
go
that.
Glad I
first.
thought of it.
So, next episode and the season to come, what do you
Mhm.
guys think?
So
Brad?
what I want, thank you. What I came up with the idea. What I want to see is something so bananas, so fucking awesome that it forces Jane to join us on one of these live streams. Something that she cannot go without having to come on, without coming on here to talk about. That's what I want to see from this show.
Just a crazy scene where Jane's like,
I don't care what it is. Yep.
Transgender Nettles confirmed.
Becoming king. Yeah, that would be a good one. All right. What do you guys think we're going to see in the next episode or two?
Definitely
Dragons.
Eric versus Eric. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
To see if it is one as epic as people say, or it was as quick. I don't know which one I would prefer more. I think that'd be a cool thing. I do kind of hope that everything that Mushroom said comes true, especially when it comes with the Dowager Queen and Helena and all that. But I don't think that they're going to do it that way, because they seem to have basically erased everything that Mushroom has said. I mean, they've
Yeah.
erased him.
Yeah, they erased him. Yeah,
Thanks,
that
Peter
does
Dinklage,
suck.
you fuckwit.
Well, can anybody find a title for next week's? It's not even on the IMDb. So
Episode 2.
It's just episode 2.
Wow.
Like,
that's
On
would-
everything, it's
really
just marked
moving.
down as episode 2.
Yeah, it's a moving story. You're right.
Yeah, I
Mason.
thought they had put out all the episode titles already, but I can't find it anywhere. Like, I could have sworn I saw it on Twitter.
Well, so I think it's because they had to change it because originally episode 2 was called Murder and Cheese.
Yeah.
Blood and Cheese.
Yep, that's the one. Blood and Cheese. I forgot what Grant said earlier.
Yeah. No, Blood and Cheese.
Yeah, so since they added it to episode 1, they're gonna have to change the title of the second one.
Yeah. I mean, there's
the
so
second
much
last episode was called Rook's Rest.
Right.
Yep.
Which I gotta go back. Last week we kept talking about Rook's Rest, but I actually meant what's the other fort?
Red Fork.
Red Fork. And that's what I meant to be talking about at the end of the season. So I was screwing up 2 of the battles, even though I was agreeing with you on the Rook's Rest one, what's going to happen there if they flip that. But Rook's Rest is supposed to be around episode 4, I guess. But yeah, it could be just hearsay because the titles, I don't see them anywhere, even though people last week said they were. Hey, Nick, what's going on, man?
And the people
Go
that
ahead,
saw
Teresa.
the first 4 the people that saw the first 4 episodes did not make a reference to a big battle in the 4th episode.
Really?
Yeah, because I was
Okay,
reading those reviews. Unless I am wrong, I'm always ready to be corrected. But I was reading through them, and none of them said, "Oh my gosh, there's the most amazing battle you'll ever see at the end of episode 4." But they did talk about the Eric and the Eric fight without naming it.
That's going to be a huge one. That's
I put a
like
link,
emotional. Go ahead.
I put a link in the private chat. It's from what is it? A wiki of Ice and Fire. Yep. It says for episode 4 that it's titled "A Dance of Dragons," but that's only episode 4. Everything else is TBD.
Right, and IMDb is the same exact way. It just has episode 4 as A Dance of Dragons.
Damn.
So
episode 2 is 72 minutes long too.
Wow. Holy cow.
Well, maybe I'll be wrong. I don't know. I guess there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's just a writer to be announced like later. I'm hoping they're just, wouldn't we know the writers already? That's kind of weird. You hope that they will give us a list of the titles, but maybe they don't want us doing what we do as fans and trying to figure out what will happen.
They're going to change it anyway. All the stuff that we knew should have and was going to happen is different now. So what difference does it make releasing the titles or not?
That's true. They've changed a lot. So it's a different show altogether. So I'm excited to see where it goes and how they work through whatever decision Ryan Condal has about changing the source material. I can't figure it out. You leave out a lot of characters, other characters we didn't get to know well enough to care about them as much. And then I'm sorry, I'm sticking on this one where if you don't have the heir and the spare and get rid of the heir, it means not the blood and cheese thing is not as important. I know it's a terrible moment and it will cause them to react towards the black violently, but it changes like the whole holy crap, they killed the heir and the spare was told that mom wants him dead, and then how she reacts to that. It's tough. Nick, what did you think about it? Nick McCabe, I want to know in the chat.
I'd rather hear from Sam.
Oh,
he's the evil one.
I thought Sam was the evil one.
It's Nick the nice one.
One's team black, one's team green. Those bastards.
Wait, which one's the bad team? I don't even know.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny because the book is supposed to be written leaning towards the green, a lot of people say, but I don't see it in the book.
Yeah, well, I thought the book was written from multiple views, though.
It is, but the writer, Archmaester Gildane, is writing for his audience, and the loser...
not only that, it's also done to make a lot of people look good because he was writing it essentially on his deathbed. Well, he was imprisoned at the time of writing it.
Oh, that's right. Gildane wasn't he? But you would think he'd be writing it for descendants of a certain group. I don't know.
I thought it was written like JDP, the Yahwehist, the Elohimist, the Deuteronomist.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in a way, he's just taking from sources that were the only one that two were there was Mushroom in the book and Maester Rumps. Yeah. And the rest are kind of hearsay. So he's taking from people that were there, but these are recounts from other people from generations late, like another generation. So it's all, that's what's great about the way George writes these history books. Cause it's kind of like, it's from the winner's point of view. It's from, a generation later where they're romanticizing what happened. And supposedly this was supposed to be the truth, and it's not.
No, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, because for one thing, they already admit it. How could it be the truth when he came out and said, well, there's no Maelor?
Yeah.
They got rid of one of the kids. That can't be then the true story.
Yeah, it's tough. That's one that's kind of unforgivable.
Yeah, in our timeline, there is no Maelor.
Yeah,
well, aren't you just amazing?
Yeah, whatever happens later with Maelor really didn't happen. There's only two kids.
Or did it?
Anybody else?
Well,
No.
Sorry.
No, go, Teresa.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm really fixated on the fact that now Aemond is the heir. So this is going to change entirely the way he relates to Aegon and how he's going to behave during the so-called regency that he's going to take up after Rook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That's huge. That's a huge change from the books now because, like you said, Aemon before in the books, he's all about defending his brother's claim and protecting his throne. And now that he can maybe be considered the heir, they've made it abundantly clear in season 1 and in this episode, he doesn't think his brother's a good king and doesn't deserve it. And he's the one that knows military strategy, probably would be a bet,
At least his brother doesn't have to turn his whole head to look to the right,
But worse,
or to the left.
What if they don't acknowledge it? Like so far, they haven't really acknowledged how much Leonor messed up everything by leaving him alive. It's like they're just in the same way they're still kind of trying to pretend like how they wrote Rhaenys in episode 9. Well, we'll just kind of forget about it. Let's just kind of forget about that. They might even say, well, let's just kind of forget that he's now the heir.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see a scene where they were like cleaning up the dragon pit because it's only like a couple days later, the whole floor was caved in. So
wait, what? Yeah. You want to see them scooping the dragon shit?
Yeah, no.
Have we seen dragon shit?
No, peasants. Dead peasants.
Dead peasants everywhere.
You know what's kind of dangerous about dragons, shitting though? If they're flying above the clouds and take a huge dump, that dump will freeze on the way down.
Oh, you're so dead.
And probably land. Yeah, imagine you're out rowing, you're fishing, dragon shit hits your boat, you're sinking.
Yeah, or you're in the field. Like, what a beautiful day. I finally got enough money to
like that.
I finally got enough money to own my own land. I don't have to, be a servant. Bam! Just dead.
Yeah. I did love how she was cool killing all these the poor people that were forced into there to see the ceremony, but then when it came to killing the actual king, she's like, I'm not gonna do it. I have too much honor or whatever. Bitch, what the fuck? You just killed like 200 people, and now you're like, oh,
but they don't have names.
True.
You just killed my cousin Leroy for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Real quick, Leroy. I just want to say, Vanessa, thank you. You're awesome, straight shooter, and I appreciate it. That's a little something on the down low. What's this?
So this is some screenshots from next episode.
Someone's about to
I'm assuming they capture at least one of them.
Well,
or he's playing polo.
That too.
He gets tortured. So good times.
It looks like roses. Morning.
I'm still so sad. God damn it, they're all going to be sad.
Yeah, everybody.
The rest of the season.
We're just screwing what's his face.
Because you got to feel for these people.
Why did they flip this image? I still don't get that.
Yeah, you brought that up once before.
Wait, they flipped it.
Yeah.
He seems all right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's looking a little upset.
A little rough day. Oh, that's what I'm.
There we go.
Yep.
Oh, is that twin versus twin?
Yes.
Eric versus Eric.
It better be as good as it is in the book.
Right? Because we have so much invested in them with their 5 seconds of screen time.
At least they made some, did I miss the blend? Yes, you missed the wine fest.
Well, if they're not careful, that battle's going to turn out to be like a Monty Python fight.
Oh, God, that'd be terrible.
It will.
See how he had to turn his head?
I want everybody out there, the 140 some odd people watching, that we are looking forward to the season. We might bitch a lot, but that doesn't mean we hate.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, well, Christy. I also believe that we will get Winds of Winter by Christmas this year. So we will be covering. No, we will. We will. He finished the book. We're covering it when it comes out. We will be doing chapter by chapter breakdowns. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great.
Jane, where are you when I need you?
All that white paper. I mean, words on it. Just reviewing those blank pages is going to be fucking fantastic.
Oh, Christy, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Just imagine somebody gathering up all the pizza boxes and hamburger wrappers that he's wrote part of his story on.
Thank you. I have faith.
Steak and you, Sporking, will have the biggest I told you so if it happens.
Yes, Stig and I both.
Wait, Stig thinks it's coming out by Christmas?
There's a lot of little clues, right, Stig?
Okay, all right, I'm listening now.
Oh, you son.
Well, I'm not sure if it's coming out by Christmas, but I think the announcement is close by.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
He's going to announce it. He's going to announce it at Christmas. Announce it at Christmas that it's coming out in 2029.
No, it's coming out.
Love to see that.
He said he was going to write 3 Dunk and Egg novels before the series gets done. So he's going to finish Winds of Winter, and then the Dunk and Eggs are going to go 1, 2, 3.
Well, he has
and then
to
he's going
finish
to write
Dunk and Egg.
It's going to be.
If he doesn't finish Dunk and Egg, we have another series that he didn't finish before they finish. Because we got the animated.
He's also going to start a new series
Dunk and Egg novels
to not finish it. So.
Thank you.
Wait, has he finished Fire and Blood Part 2 yet?
Not cool.
No, of course not.
No, but Winds of Winter, we're going to know. And at Christmas, we'll all be the gift that keeps on giving.
I hope he has good blood pressure medicine, because I don't know if he's going to make it.
Yeah,
finish
he's
all
a
these
cheeseburger
projects.
away. He is a cheeseburger.
He will,
away.
dude. All the cheeseburgers that he eats are keeping him alive.
He's a millionaire. He could buy all those livers and.
Oh, you think he's plugged up to some interns getting the blood?
No, he's just
plasma.
No, he's just going to buy
everything.
another giant ass trampoline and jump naked on it.
That's awesome.
It's going to
That's
be
what I
like
want to see.
Futurama and just be.
It's like the whole islands scenario.
He's going to be
Ewan McGregor.
He's gonna be driving around LA with somebody strapped to the hood of his car with the like in Mad Max.
Yeah.
Connected to him.
Oh, you mean Aaron Dempere?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Talking about science.
Science, baby, science. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Does anybody want to give their channel a shout out? We got people that have channels here, like Miss Martin Muses and Tina and Mason.
I just have a short statement.
Yes, please.
We are getting all of the novels either before or after George dies, because there is no way Martin's wife slept with that for how many decades to not get all the money she can get out of this fandom.
I mean, she could just do what Nietzsche's sister did, right? And just finish it herself or whatever. Yeah. He loved the Nazi,
It's gonna get done. It's gonna get done, people.
Nietzsche.
It's gonna get done.
Reference.
Nietzsche. God is dead. He was wrong. Anybody else? Teresa, would you like to let them know where you are?
Well, you can find me here, Miss Martin Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. I've been doing, of course, my own Fire and Blood / House of the Dragon content. I'm going to be having one based on Fire and Blood with the 2 twins, Eric and Arik, this Friday, God willing. I have some how they're related, kind of family tree related videos out. And of course, today I had Miss Christie on. We were talking about this episode last night, and it was us unfiltered for 2 hours. So there you go.
I can believe that was a good show with Christy on there. 2 likes away from 500 on YouTube, or 50. Yeah, I can imagine. 2 likes away from 50 on YouTube. So if you haven't hit it yet, please do. Mason, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Free Folk of Fandom. You can find me on Twitter X, at Free Folk of Fandom, or my personal one is at MG Cola. Yeah, I'd appreciate a follow if you like what I sound like, or any of my opinions. If not, I thank you for tolerating me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and make a episode review for this, and maybe a Mistborn book review, because I just finished that pretty recently. So yeah, I'm working on some videos. Check me out if you want.
Guys, please subscribe to Mason. We're trying to get him over 100 subs. All right, so the guy can go live and do all that stuff. And I think you can get monetized over 100 subs now. So please help him out.
Well, speaking of going live, I know that I'm going to be starting my new People of Walmart streams. Came up with this idea a little bit ago. And,
good idea.
You know that website doesn't exist anymore, right?
Fuck off, Christy.
Oh, it does, but it's archived now.
You know how long I wanted to be on her fucking People of Walmart?
I know you did.
Like, but I'm not going to do it.
I was on it all the time.
You were. I was invited. Yeah.
It was eye-opening for a foreigner to see Americans in their natural habitat.
Oh.
I even saw Down syndrome Marilyn Monroe on that stream.
So Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, Honey Boo Boo or something.
Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, jeez. The mom. Wow.
Whenever I was monetized, that stream got demonetized immediately after he fucking said that.
That's so what awesome. It looked like. I didn't know. I just said the first thing that I thought it looked like.
All right.
I'm a foreigner, I wouldn't know.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. He doesn't know our customs.
Hey, what does Texas Texas mean in Norwegian, Steve?
Batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a term.
It really is a term. I looked it up. It's a term.
Yeah, she didn't believe me.
No, I did not.
Oh my God, that's nuts. All right, we're closing it out, everybody. Thank you for being here. You guys have a great night. Oh, Grant, do you have anything? I thought he went away.
Yeah, I got plenty of streams coming up. Just yet. So I've got my other channel. I'll be doing the Game of Thrones content on.
And we're doing something soon.
Yep.
This week, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're gonna be. Oh man, dude, Grant, we can go.
Okay, we'll talk
Grant
backstage.
made me watch some of the craziest short films I've ever seen, and then the dude pops up in the chat, and he was all mad. He's like, because Grant invited them to come watch. He's like, man, why'd you invite me to see guys just calling me a retard?
Later, everybody.